got with me is a belt and my favourite yoga blanket. It used to be a car blanket and I washed it and it shrank. And it actually makes a really nice little firm support. So I'm going to sit on that just to give my bottom just that little bit of extra height. Hopefully you'll see a difference. You might not. Okay, rest the hands on the knees. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. Let the body come into the center. Let the eyes release down towards the cheeks and allow the temples to feel broad and wide. And just allow yourself to sit comfortably. Observe the breath. And let go of any tension. Observing that you're sitting evenly, or the weight is even on your buttocks, on your buttock bones. That the pelvis feels as if it's supportive, and that the spine feels as if it's can just lift out of the pelvis. Bring the hands to Namaskar. Relax and widen the collarbones. Allow the diaphragm to draw the breath in and release the breath out. Feel that space just around the rib cage, the lower ribs, that diaphragmatic area there. Observe how the diaphragm moves down as you inhale. The ribs widen. And how the diaphragm releases back up again as you're exhaling. And the ribs release back in again. Feel how your body is breathing. Relax the eyes, release the tongue. And then gently bow the head to the heart, lifting the heart to the head. Release the hands. Open the eyes. Raise the head up. Change across of the legs. And just pressurize your hands either side of the spine. And allow the sides of the waist to lift up. Have the heels lengthening away, but don't over-tense the feet. So the feet are broad and open. And then again, if you can take your hands just a little bit wider, see if that allows the ribs to widen a little more. And then release. Rest the hands back on the thighs. Okay, we're going to do Adho Mukha Virasana, that's kneeling and leaning forwards. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down. Uttanasana, forward bend with the feet apart. Okay, then back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, and then back to Adho Mukha Virasana. Okay, so if you're not sure, I should just show all three very quickly. So if it's not suitable for you to be kneeling, so Janet, if you're watching this one, you can just do dog head down and a forward bend. And Sue, if you're watching this one, you can use the chair for your dog head down and your forward bend. Okay? So putting your hands to the chair there. Otherwise we have Adho Mukha Virasana. And just have the body feeling broad. Allow the shoulders to feel wide. And just let the body release down. So then you've got the dog head down so that everybody knows. I said I'd do it quickly and I went into teaching. Okay, I'm going to ask you to walk your hands back for your forward bend. The legs are firm, the thighs press back. You can then bring the hands so the palms are up. Or you can hold the elbows, one of those. Then we can walk forwards, back to our dog head down. Then we can bend the knees and let the legs take a rest. So that was a quick, slow demonstration, or a slow, quick demonstration. Okay, so Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tuck the toes under, stretch back, work the legs. Now walk the hands back. Uttanasana, forward bend. Feet are hip distance apart, thighs are firm. Look forwards, walk the hands forwards. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lengthening out the backs of the legs, maintaining a contact of the heels down towards the floor. If they can stay on the floor, marvellous. Adho Mukha Virasana, bend the knees, toes back, rest the head down. Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, come up, stretch back, take a breath. Uttanasana, walk the hands back, letting yourself fold from the hips. Palms can face up, or you can take the opposite clasp with the elbows. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down. Try and keep the heels down for as long as possible, so the hips stretch back. Hands stretch forwards. Bend the knees, Adho Mukha Virasana. Go back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk the hands back. Exhaling as you walk the hands back. Palms facing up, or hold the elbows, first clasp again. Adho Mukha Svanasana, walk the hands forwards. Stretch the arms back, lift the ribs out of the armpits. Adho Mukha Virasana, big toes together, knees apart, stretch back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down. And Uttanasana, walking those hands back. Palms face up, or the second clasp of the elbows. If I've got my maths right. Walk the hands forwards. Adho Mukha Svanasana, legs firm, kneecaps lifted, stretch back. Adho Mukha Virasana, big toes together. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down. Open up the backs of the legs, unfurling the backs of those legs, widening the thighs. And Uttanasana, last time. Now you can hold behind the ankles. And you can look behind you. So you're looking between the legs, like you're looking into a mirror there. Now remember, if you're looking into a mirror, make your face look relaxed. Just picture it's your face looking back at you. So no frowning, maybe even a little smile. Look forwards, walk forwards. Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is dog head down with the feet apart one more time. And then bend the knees, big toes together, stretch back. Adho Mukha Virasana. Inhale, come up. Okay, so now you've got we're going to do Adho Mukha Svanasana with the legs together. And we're going, so if you've got tight hamstrings, you want to keep the feet apart. We're only going to do this twice. We're going to have the legs together this time. So we're going to dip in once, see how it feels. If you get there and you think, I don't like that, then just take the feet apart. If you've had enough and you want to just rest, you can lie down, cuddle the knees in close, or stay in Adho Mukha Dandasana. Okay? So here, dog head down, hands apart, feet together. So it should feel like you're funneling the energy from your hands back to your legs. So you've now got the two legs that felt very separate, now should feel like one big leg. And it's much easier to compare the knees here, to compare the thighs and compare the shins and compare the feet. Which foot's active, which foot's lazy. So now we're going to do Uttanasana with the legs together. So just walk your hands back. Again, please, to your own capacity. So if you need to take the feet apart, go back to your dog head down, take the feet apart, and then walk your hands back with the feet apart. Otherwise, Uttanasana. Again, you can let the palms be up, but make sure the legs stay working and the abdomen is soft, the diaphragm is soft. Look forwards, walk the hands forwards, funneling the energy back to the legs. So push back with those hands. Now if you had your feet apart, keep the knees apart and do Adho Mukha Dandasana with the feet together and the knees apart. If you've got your knees together, bring the knees down, keep the knees together, stretch the ankles back and then stretch back with the knees together. So you're staying with the funneling hands. And then I suppose it's the funnel of your body as well, into the tube of your body. And then one more dog head down, tucking the toes under, funneling the energy back to the hips, stretch those legs back, open up the backs of the thighs, fanning the eyes open, spreading the calves, making them wide, taking the outer calves back, the part of the outer calf that you can see, draw that back. You'll notice the arches will lift a little more. And then walk the hands back for your Uttanasana. Full forward bend, so let's do Adha. Look forwards, lengthen the body forwards, keep the legs engaged, and remember that the legs are very long. So don't just fold from the lower back, but fold from the hip joints to bring the body into your full Uttanasana, head in. Hands come back. So just have the heels of the hands in line with the heels if you can get there. If that's very easy for you, you can always bring the hands back so the fingers are behind the heels. Look forwards, walk forwards. Back to your Adho Mukha Svanasana with the legs together, but do a narrow one here. I'm going to sneak in Chaturanga Dandasana, stretch back into the heels, tailbone down, come forwards, shoulders over the hands. So we're doing a plank position here, the body's quite high. So come back, you might need to adjust your distance, I do. Stretch back. So come to the plank, so bring the shoulders over the hands, legs back, tailbone through towards the crown of the head so the legs feel supercharged. And then stretch back. And now Chaturanga Dandasana. We're going to hold it, and if you just end up going down to the floor, just lie on the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana, hold. Breathe. Work the legs. Open the chest. Thighs up, tailbone down, and then exhale, release. Rest your head down. Let the feet flop out to the side and take some breaths. You can turn your head one way or the other. Turn your head the other way. And then come up onto all fours. So this is Chaturangasana. It's not Chaturanga Dandasana, this is Chaturangasana. Okay, so it's just hands and knees. Have your feet apart. Tuck the toes under. Press the hands down, widen the collarbones. Feel how that brings the awareness into the front of the body. And if you release the ankles or you stop pressing the legs down, the abdomen becomes soft. Press the legs down, the abdomen becomes firm. Observe that you're pressing evenly with your left and your right ankle, and then evenly with your left and your right hand. Breathe. And then release. Okay, bring the knees together. Now if you've just looked at your legs and gone, oh, I need some padding under the knees, put some padding under the knees. I'm on 2 mats here, so I don't need any extra padding. Take your right leg back, look forwards, and then just raise the right leg up so it comes in line, so it's as if you're doing Chaturanga, yeah, with the leg, but it's in the air. So this portion, I don't know, I might fall over, watch me fall over. This portion of the body is doing Chaturanga almost. So from the elbow, which should be back, but the shoulder back to the heel is doing Chaturanga. There's Chaturanga thoughts, and then release. Or Virabhadrasana 3 thoughts. Lift the leg up, left leg, stretch into the heel, hips level. Breathe. And then release. First side again. So we're supercharging the legs. Stretch into the heel. Legs back, toes spread, and then release. Second side, into the heel, and then release. Okay, so now you're going to prepare for headstand. Now it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to do headstand, but you can prepare. So your elbows come underneath your shoulders and you make sure that you're on a level playing field. Okay, so I'm going to put some padding. I've got my special blanket here. I'm also going to do what I should have done earlier, which is tuck in my t-shirt. Okay. This is I love this blanket. It's perfect forearm length for me, and I've got a line here to put my head on. So I can measure on the checks that my elbows are in the same place and that my hands are in the centre. Okay, so now what you're going to do, we're just going to prepare for a headstand. So the shoulders, if you look at my shoulders, they're coming up over my elbows, and just notice how the apex, so if you think of just currently the pit of the throat being the apex of the triangle, if you drop your shoulders, notice how the apex of the triangle releases to the floor. So you want to make that apex, which is actually back here, your C7, up as high as possible so the neck remains long. And I want you to keep the head off the floor and just see whether you can straighten the legs and lift up your hips. Neck quiet, eyes quiet, and then exhale, come down. Okay, so if you're learning to do, or you've not done headstand before, this is a really good thing just to practice every day, so that you're really beginning to feel the essence of the shoulder action. And it's a case of you're not trying to pull the shoulders forwards, you're actually trying to push the shoulders away from the floor. Now those of you that wish to go up, we're just going to go up to a straight headstand. Okay, we're not doing anything fancy. In Light on Yoga he says to bring the knees in line with the elbows. Now that makes it trickier to go up, because it means that you have to really bring the head in and you need the flexibility through the spine. So if you can go up with 2 legs, I'd like you to try that. But if you're still using 1 leg or you need a wall, please do those things, okay? So otherwise you bring your head under. If you want to watch, you can then try afterwards. And then you want to lift the shoulders, and then you can just bend 1 leg and then the other in towards the body. And then use the buttocks to allow the legs to unfurl so the knees point up towards the sky or the ceiling, pointing the toes down.
Now here you can really activate the tailbone up towards the back of the knees, and then the buttocks will contract. Roll the thighs in and then raise the legs up. Okay, so I shall come down. If you're up and you're happy and you're up, you can stay up if you followed me through that. If, however, you're thinking, well, I just watched that and I don't want to rewind, that's okay. I'll talk you through it again. Knees are coming directly forwards. Elbows are coming in line with the knees. And on this handy check blanket, my elbows can be even for sure. And then interlace the fingers. Now, if you always do the same interlace, it's well worth changing the interlace. If this is a new way of going up, just do your regular way. If you're used to going up this way, just be aware that you do need to change your interlace as well. Okay, just to change the feedback through the arms, the feedback through the hands, and the fact that we're creatures of habit. Crown of the head down. Unfurl the legs, walk them in. Bend up one leg, bend up the other leg. Squeeze the legs together, take the knees up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. Lengthen the thighs. Very, very good for the thighs here. Yeah, they're not having to hold weight. You can just push the tailbone forwards and the thighs will release more. And then straighten up through the legs. If you've been up for a while and you want to come down, please come down. Now if you're up and you're feeling like you're beginning to sag, separate the legs a little. Shoot the inner knees up. Shoot the inner legs up. Take the tailbone up and then bring the legs together. Hold. Breath smooth. Back of the neck wide. Shoulders lifted. Buttocks engaged. Tailbone moves up. Lower back feels free. Inner edges of the feet up. And lengthen through the toes. We'll come down in a moment, so I'll just count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the legs. So you're bending the feet back towards the bottom, so the knees bend, knees are up. If you can bring the knees in towards the chest, knees in towards the chest, keep the shoulders lifted. Unfurl the legs, bring them to the floor. Bring the knees down, lift the head, rest the head either, head on the hands, shoulders broad, or release the head down and just stretch the arms forwards, but widen the shoulders away from the neck. Let the head release there. And then when you're ready, sit yourself up. So now we've got a right angle pose, but it depends which way round you want to do. Okay, so I will show you the one and then I'll show you the other. One, so you've got to make sure your neck feels nice and broad. Everything feels fine. Let's just interlace the fingers, push the palms away, stretch up. Take a nice breath in. Lower the arms down. Change the interlace, push the palms away and stretch up again. And release. So you're either going to lie on your back, you've got your belt, you might have a belt, you might not need a belt, but I'm saying use a belt because you just work quite strongly. Put the feet into the belt. If you've got your right angle, yeah, if you've got a super duper long belt, it might be that your belt will stretch enough on a wide loop that you can have the arms over the head. Or you might want to lie down with your legs up the wall in Viparita Karani with the arms over the head. Okay, so that's option number one. Option number two, so I've got this wooden frame here. I don't recommend you do it on glass. That is double glazed, and I also know that I can hold my own weights there. So you measure your legs,
find out how long they are. Cool. They still haven't grown. I keep doing all this yoga thinking that they'll stretch longer, and lucky me, I don't need anything to do that. But if you're on a plain floor or carpet, you might want to just put your belt in front of your heels. Okay? Now the heel of your hand wants to roughly go where your ankles are if you want to do a full right angle. But otherwise, if you take your hands further forwards, it makes for an easier pose. So my hands are here. Have them as wide as your shoulders so that the collarbones can be broad. And if your shoulders are stiff or tight, you can always turn your hands out just a little bit. And then bottom up, step up. Now if you step up a little higher than you need to, you can check that you're happy holding your weight, and then you can come down. Then you can change legs and do the same on the other side. So leg up nice and high, step up a little, straightening that top leg, and just make sure that you're stable. Now if you feel at all wobbly, but you know you've been upside down before, just bring your hands a little bit further forwards. Okay, so be kind to yourself. Otherwise now, you step up with one leg, step up with the other leg, being careful not to get splinters in your feet and avoiding any kind of sharp objects that might be on the shed. And lift, hold, and then just let the head relax, neck relax. Lift the tailbone up. Lift the inner thighs up. So it's as if someone's got a rope and they've attached it to the tops of your thighs. Breathe. Shoulders broad, legs firm, waist long. Exhale, step down. You can rest in Uttanasana, or you can rest just in a pose the child. If you, with the wall behind you, you can always let the bottom go back towards the wall and rest there like that. It's very comforting. And then we'll go up one more time. Hands down. Step up. So use the other leg to step up, because we are creatures of habit. How many times do you brush your teeth with the same hand? It's good because you get a good brush, but you do miss those places. The other places. Lift up, sides of the waist up. Breathe. Breath smooth and even. Arms engaged. Lift out of the armpits, lift the side ribs, lift the side waist, lift the outer hips. Tops of the thighs up. Heels into the wall. I'll count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1, half, quarter, 8, 10, and release. Uttanasana. So either Uttanasana, feet apart, you can just hold the elbows, let the arms hang, or let the arms hang to the floor. If you liked having your bottom back on the wall, come to there. Relax the neck. Inhale, look forwards. Place the hands down, and then just come to Virasana. So you're going to sit down, either between your feet, on a chair, or with a brick, so that you're lifted. So if this was my brick, if I needed there is actually a breeze block there. So here we are. And you sit on it like so. So we're aiming to have nice square knees. Sit evenly on the buttocks. Those of you with your legs up the wall, come and join us now. Legs in Virasana. Breath smooth and even. Collarbones broad. Eyes quiet. Stretch out the arms. Gomakasana arms, so just allow the arms So allow your right arm to come up your back and your left arm to go down the back. And just rest back into those hands. Let the eyes release, eyes wide. The sun is very bright. I didn't want to put my sunnies on. Should have done. They're cool. This. And then have less of a screen. And then stretch the arms out, second side. Relax the eyes, release the tongue. Weight back so you're not holding tightly in the hips, at the top of the hips. And then release, let me clarify that. So you want this area at the top of the thigh to feel like it's soft and moving down, okay? You don't want to feel like that's holding you up. If that feels tight, you'll probably feel that there's a pressure on the lower back. So you want to feel that the lower back feels free and uplifted. So the front of the lower back also feels long as well as the back of the lower back, if that makes sense. Okay? Gomukhasana again. Simultaneously move the arms. So that doesn't mean one arm and then the other, it means both of them together. And then stretch the arms out, and the second side. Good breath in, long breath out. And then release. Okay, come to cross legs. So if you're sitting on the chair, you can stay sitting on the chair. Or if you know cross legs is comfortable, or you've got your bolster and you're sitting on that, that's fine. Keep the trunk nice and tall. Don't go for maximum rotation, just a very gentle release. And picture that you're kind of trying to keep this area broad. Yeah, so there's a diagonal rotation, but it still feels very long from hip to ribs. We're not turning so much. And then come back to center. Again, not turning so much. And if it feels more comfortable to let that hip follow the movement a little bit, then allow that to happen too. So, I can't remember his name. Rajiv Chanchani would say, you're in your Zoom room, so you're in your YouTube room, and you know what feels right for you today. So if something doesn't feel quite right, if it's catching or feels slightly odd, then modify. Change the posture. Think about the space you've created, keep that space, maintain it. Turning to the right. Come back to center, still maintaining that space, turn to the left. And then come back to center. Okay, we're going to do Janu Shishasana. We're going to straighten the legs forwards. If you're up on a little bit of a height, then you can stay there if that's comfortable. If you want to work flat now, you can work flat. I'm hoping that you can see my feet. If I move back again, you should definitely be able to see my feet. I'll come off my height there. Okay, so I'm saying about comfort. I'm going to have to put this down because this grid is really uncomfy. There we go. That's better. Okay, you're going to bend back your right leg. The heel comes into its own groin. This leg comes forwards, and just allow yourself to lengthen over the left leg. Breathe. And then exhale, fold forwards. Let yourself go down. If you can hold the foot, you're softly letting the back body just release down. Lift the elbows. Just a few breaths. Inhale, come up. Sit tall. Second side. So come here, come back to sitting. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Bend back the left leg. exhale, go down. So you might find that one side is tighter than the other. Don't force anything, let the abdomen be soft, release the head down, take hold of the foot, widen the shoulders. Navel moving towards that straight leg, but the breath is wide and smooth. Inhale, look forwards, come up, wide, Paschimottanasana. So feet apart, toes active, toes going up. So they're lengthening out of the feet, a bit like your hands would, but not too tense, just lengthening up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Widen the elbows, widen the sides of the waist, and allow the head to come down. Now, if your head doesn't reach down and you happen to have a foam pad nearby, you can put some foam pads or a brick here to rest your head upon. If you haven't got those things, then just release the head down. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, look forwards, come up, sit tall, bring the legs together. Allow the buttock flesh to be wide and broad, so you're sitting evenly on the buttock bones. Make myself straight here. And then exhale, sit into the buttocks. Inhale, lift the chest, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, Paschimottanasana. Take the feet, widen the elbows, widen the trunk, soften the abdomen, look up, and then fold down. Shoulders away from the ears. Think about that head balance action where I said to lengthen the shoulders away from the floor. It's that same sensation here. So we're teaching the neck to be long, spacious, broad and wide. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, inhale, come up. Sit tall. Dog head down. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feet apart, hands apart. Okay? So it's a nice wide dog head down. And picture that you're a tent. Okay, I think it's going to have to be a teepee. Otherwise, we're one of those old-fashioned tents that have collapsed. So it's a special isosceles teepee. And so the skin is draping from the sacrum down over the legs, over the body, but inside the inner energy, the poles of the teepee are lifting right up to the apex. Your breath is whole. It's sukha, like in Sukhasana. I remember hearing somebody say that sukha also means a well-centered wheel. And then exhale, come down onto the knees, big toes together, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Release completely. Okay, so now if you have any back issues, if you have any neck issues, if you've had enough of, you're tired, then you can do Viparita Karani one more time. So your legs up the wall. If you're menstruating, you can do Supta Baddha Konasana. Okay, so that's an option as well. So that's the diamond leg pose. So either legs up the wall, okay, lying on your back. The diamond leg pose, which is what my son used to call it when he was little. How we remembered it. This one. With the belt around the hips if you know how to do that. On the non-slippy mats, often you'll find that you don't need that. You might want some support underneath the thighs. Okay. Otherwise, those of you that wish to, you can do halasana. Now we're doing it flat. Okay, so I've got a little tiny bit of support. Now if you do your halasanas normally, you can put your legs to a chair, if you know how to do that, and you can build yourself up on a height. Okay, but when you do, there's one of my videos I've rocked forwards and backwards in a pose. I can't remember which one it is. I will do that again in a later video. But what you can do is you're going to come down. I've got my shoulders just on this little bit of extra height. There's some softness for my neck. I'm untying my hair. So if you've got neck issues or anything, I can't say enough, please don't do this, and do not turn your head to look at the screen. Okay? So you're going to press the hands down, you're going to curl up, take the feet over your head, and then release the hands to your feet. Okay, so we roll down, and you rest. Now if you know that you can do this, you can take the arms over the head and just roll the feet up. Okay, but otherwise it's much easier to use the hands, and then you can always put the hands to the back for support, but don't push with the hands, they're just to support the back. So I'm going to bend my legs, press down with my hands on the floor, roll up and over. You can use your hands to help your buttocks, and the hands come towards the feet, or they can come behind just to give you a little bit of extra support. Work the legs. We're not holding this for very long. Release the hands and roll down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, and place the feet to the floor. Relax the hands on the abdomen, and then you can join our friends with their legs up the wall. If you've had enough of Baddha Konasana, then you can, again, you can do the knees together. So you can rest here. Okay, but otherwise we're joining our friends with their legs up the wall. So if you're doing it against a shed, make sure you don't get splinters in the backs of your legs. Take the arms wide and stretch up through the legs. If you've had your legs up for a while and you want to take your legs wide, then let the legs come wide. And breathe. If the desire is to open the chest in a vertical manner, you can take the arms over the head if that's what feels right for you. If you're feeling tired, just bend the elbows and let the hands come to like goalposts either side of your shoulders. Or like your arms are a fork and your head's a pea. Pea on a fork. Let the breath soften. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. And then, when you're ready, bend the legs. So you're in a supine squat, and then roll to your side. Carefully sit up. Sit in the centre of your mat. Have the legs bent, have the knees in line with your navel. Lower yourself down so you're coming to your Shavasana. Rest the head back, palms facing up. Stretch the legs away. And if that's too much on the lower back and you want to bend the legs up, bring the feet apart, let the knees flop in, or put your knees over the back of a bolster. And here,
rest, relax deeply, and allow yourself to release the muscles, release the arms, release the legs. Letting yourself release completely for 5 minutes or more. Release the sides of the neck, release across the shoulders, and allow the arms to feel heavy. Let the breath release to the back of the body, so any areas of tension at the back of the chest, the kidney area or the back of the waist are released and let go. Picture the tissues around the spine, around the back, releasing the nerves, any tension held around the nerves, giving them space to also let go. Relax the hips and the buttocks. Release the hamstrings and the fronts of the thighs. Relax through the backs of the legs and release the shins. Widen the calves and release into the heels. So the body feels almost like ice cream melting, widening, letting go. Release the soles of the feet. Notice the energy that's in the soles and around the toes, and in the palms and around the fingers. Notice the softness of the arches in the centre of the palms, the softness there. And the vibrancy of the fingertips and the vibrancy of the toes. Relax the eyes again, let them feel broad and wide. Release the temples, release the tongue, release the face completely, allowing any external noise to wash over you. Sonic duvet for you to release and relax underneath. Observe the breath, and any time the mind wanders, just notice the gentle pause at the end of the exhalation before the inhalation begins. And if you lengthen that pause, so you'll notice a very small window of quietness, quiet mind. Stay with those feelings, stay with those thoughts. Be in your body, be with your breath. I'm going to leave you in your Shavasana for today. Enjoy the relaxation and the rest.